and I'm finding lots of really cool tracks. So I'm always a little shaky with possum versus raccoon, but I'm pretty sure that's raccoon. But I've been following these. Looks like a big dog, right? But I've been following these for like 4 miles, right? Yeah. Look at this. This is like in a city park too. Big old dog. I assume dog. Let's see. Got some deer right here. You can see that. Boom, boom, boom. But yeah, let's follow these tracks. There we go. So it's like kind of along the main trail, so it's probably just someone's dog. But we keep finding other tracks. Ooh. There's more. I don't think these are the same tracks I was following. Huh. Actually, these do look smaller. Hold up, these are maybe dog tracks. Let's retrace. Well, let's see. This way, find a deer. Deer and dog. These, okay. Yeah, 2 dog tracks, so this is dog, right? But then I've been following these, much bigger. These are older though, much older. This is the tree. Is that kind of what we're seeing here? Oh yeah, see? There we go. Boom, boom. Back off into the woods. Yeah, these are bigger than the ones back there. And they're a little bit older. You can see the edges. Yeah, like, look at the claw marks. That's what's getting me. Crazy claw marks on this one. So, because I've been following this for a little bit now. And these are just, it's probably just a dog. See, let me just end. But it's a nice day out. I'm finding, oh, there's like no more tracks here. Where are they? Where is everything? Okay, hold up. So we got some, is that an old deer? No, not. So you can see here, like these are little mammal tracks. So, I'm always struggling with, yeah, these are possum or raccoon. I'm always kind of struggling with those a little bit. But these I've been following, they look like dog prints. You can see, let me see here. There are some good ones back in the trail. Here we go. If I can show you a canine print. So you can see, oh, maybe squirrel. Probably squirrel, actually, with these. I gotta double check all my paw prints. Unfortunately, the mammal ones I don't track too often, but dog prints I know really well. So yeah, you can see a few here. Oh, here's a classic dog print. So these are really good. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4 paws, and then the paw print. So these look like classic dog prints. You want to know it between like a bear has 5 in the front. That's kind of what it looks like. Yeah, you can see like lots of dog prints, and of course human prints. But so we're having like a crazy windstorm. Yeah, we're having like wind gusts of like 50 to 60 miles per hour. Oh, hi. And I just needed to kill time because the coffee shop isn't open for another hour. But I'm just going off. I don't like staying on the trail for these. So you can find like a lot more cool paw prints. So I'm also seeing a lot of deer. Let me see if I can find one here. Let's find the deer prints. They're around. I know there's some back that way. But here we go. So yeah, these are like these big dog prints I've been following. You can see. Ooh. Boop. Oh. Let's see here. I know there's going to be deer print out here. Or even just a deer. They're going to hear me coming, though. Especially with all this ice. What was the problem with the claws? Yeah, so that was probably a dog print. You know, just based on range and also where we're at. So, yeah, like these right here. So these are probably dog prints. Someone must have a massive dog here. Because, yeah, some of these are like as big as my hand. And of course, like we're in a region that doesn't really have wolf. Oh, look at this. That's a big sized one. So that's definitely not squirrel. That's too big for a squirrel. So that's closer, probably raccoon. Raccoon hands look very human-like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they kind of have almost a opposable thumb. So that's why they kind of look like that. And this is a big one, big fat one. Oh yeah, yeah, look at this one, splayed out. So, let's see if we can follow these. So, there's still the dog. I'm trying to find a deer one for y'all. And also we'll flip some logs. Yeah. Yeah, it's like kind of cold out. So you can kind of see here, here's some more clear dog prints. These are a lot smaller. But these are also a little bit older, so you can kind of tell. Like this one is, you can kind of see like the claw marks a little bit easier. But then on these older ones, they start to get a little bit more faded in, a little bit sort of like remelted over. Like this one right here is super indistinct. So some of that could be how the sun is hitting it and melting it. But like obviously a fresh print is a lot more clear, right? Whereas an older print would have had some erosion, some movement that makes it harder to see. I should just try that with my hand instead of, right? Oh, I'm not strong enough to put my fingers through, but you get the point. Let's see, where are, see more of the little bitty fingers. Those are cute. Let's see. So obviously people print right here. So yeah, going out on ice is always like some of the best way to find paw prints, and just re-practice. So I wish I could get away from this, I wish I could do like 2 tabs open, because I have in another tab all of the North American mammal paw prints, but I think they'll close the stream. So unfortunately, oh, here we go. So here's a deer print, right? So you can see the, it's like 2 grooves, right? So that's a deer print. And of course, when we start looking at things, we can start to make some guesses. Like these dog prints are older than these deer prints, right? Deer prints are still embedded in more. The dog prints are a little more indistinct. But the deer prints are moving in a direction. So there we go. Another one. We can keep going. Oh my god, it's so pretty today though. Look at all this. Wow, 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 wow. Awesome. Yeah, I try to get away from the trail, because usually at the trail is where you just find people prints and dog prints. But I like to go out, because I want to find other prints. So you can see evidence here, right? What's happening here is this is something that's probably going hoop, poop, hoop, poop, right? So this actually does look very squirrely, like in terms of movement, right? Because you know how squirrels do, they sit there, pow. But there's a lot of this, but it's also pushing in. So, yeah. Here we go. Dog. Yeah, I got to review the small mammals a little more, because a lot of it is size, because a lot of them are, you know, closely related in some way, or they have very similar paw prints. But it looks like what I'm mainly seeing are the squirrel ones and then those bigger raccoon ones that we saw. But you can kind of see like the gait, right? So it's like a hop, hop, hop. Could this be rabbit? See, I gotta double check that. I'll tell you what I don't know and I'll tell you what I do know. Ooh. Is this log? No. Please set in. We might find something to flip here. Ooh. You look nice and dead. Oh, wow. Nothing. Let's see. Oh, how y'all doing today, though? And also, if you want to look up the tracks fact check me. That would be awesome. So, because we're in North Carolina, so fairly standard North American mammal stuff. Oh, ooh, I might be able to flip this log. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, it'll move. It'll move. Let's... How do we want to set this up? Let's do... Oh, here we go. Also, ooh, look inside of here. Hello? Anybody in? Hello? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Oh, we got a salamander. We got a salamander. This is a slimy salamander. And we got a dark-winged beetle, or larvae right here. Looks like it. Oh, come here. Wow. But we got our slimy salamander. Yes. Hello, beautiful. And then we got some slugs here. But this is what I was looking for. So we won't keep them out too much. But a lot of salamanders, they don't really mind the cold near as much. They just slow down, of course. These are a really common one here. Plethodon cinereus. Okay, so we're gonna put down the log super gently. He's up underneath all this, so I'm not too worried. Actually, you're moving a bit. Okay, let's do a proper release. So we're gonna put him. I'm gonna put him like right here, next to the log. I'm gonna put the log down before he gets back underneath. Okay. Okay. Boom. Gentle, and you can see him right here. Right here. Okay. Go on, little buddy. So, no, it is a salamander. And also, newts are a type of salamander. So, either way, I'm right. But newts typically are ones that are still in the water, or ones that have a larger aquatic life stage. It's like a common name, so there's not hard and fast rules. Here's the flip. And also many newts can go onto land. And generally, no, they are not safe to eat. So here, I need to put you guys this way. So most amphibians are a little bit toxic, or they have some type of toxicity in them. Usually it's mild, or like not at all gonna affect you. Oh, so it's 2 in. But regardless, there's no real reason to eat salamanders. They're probably not that good, even though their eggs do look like forbidden boba. But look, more tracks. So again, if you're new, here's the dog. 1, 2, 3, 4, claws out. That's a good dog print. Usually with cat prints, if it were a cat, the claws wouldn't be out because they're probably retracted. Doesn't mean they can't be out, but they're probably not out, right? So, ooh, we got a lot of tracks over here. That's okay. We're getting up to like houses and stuff. So let's go this way, laterally. Here we go. Here's some nice tracks. These are all small mammals, mostly small mammal tracks. Kind of a mix of things. This almost looks, So I do gotta double check that. So if you're new here, my specialty isn't really mammals. I know a few. We did see confirmed raccoon tracks earlier. A lot of these look like squirrel. Look like squirrel tracks, particularly with like how they jump around. But yeah, amphibians are my speciality. I just think these are so cute. So yeah, that looks a lot more like a raccoon. You see how the fingers are kind of like splayed out a little bit? And wait, am I counting 4 though? 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Here's a nice one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are a little bit old. Ooh, here we go. Ha! Each one got better than the last. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit more splayed out. Okay. Let's see. I also want to find a few more logs to flip. I'm basically just following tracks, see where they go. I found that big one that looked like it looked like a big dog. So I just wanted to see if it led to anywhere, but it did not. Yeah, it's crazy. This is all ice, all of it. Let's see. these logs flippable? Not so sure. I'm not so sure. Oops. Let's see here. Yeah. Do you actually know how to go back to your car because you were walking around randomly? Yeah, my car's over there. So this is something I do pretty well. So basically, I followed a long path that was this way, this way, this way, and then we looped around. And then that way. So there's a street over there, but also, if I got lost, there's a street that way, and a street that way, and then that way is another street, so I could always just get around. And also, if I can live stream, I can pull up a map. So, but, oh gosh, that was so weak. Okay, I'm not gonna flip you, you're too dead. But yeah, I generally have a pretty good sense of direction. I'm kind of always double checking. Also, the sun's been that way. I've been walking towards the sun for most of it, kind of this way. So, you know, I can orient myself pretty easily. In fact, what time is it? Let's start doing a straight walk towards the car. Might need to readjust that way, but yeah. So, I'll probably refine my tracks at some point. I want to find more logs. A lot of these are like oddly not that great to flip. A lot of down stuff. Ooh, here's some nice deer track though. Look at that. So you can really reveal a lot, right? So it's like they go in and then they go out as they're pushing off. So like that, right? So again, you can just like really get a lot of information from a track, even if you're not entirely sure what it is. You can start looking at them, counting the number of fingers, counting the number of toes. Dogs are over there. Direction it's going, and all sorts of stuff. But here's some nice logs that we can flip. And also, here's a cool tip. You can actually find a lot of like box turtles and stuff inside of these log hollows. They like to go up into them. Also snakes, of course. But not seeing any. So these are awesome to flip. Let's do it. We got a centipede. Let me see, where is it? There we go. Centipede. Nice. Not too wet underneath here though. A little dry. Ooh, another one of these. Look at you. Very nice. A fungi of some affliction there. Oh yeah, you can see lots of little ones too. So these look like darkling beetle larvae, so they're of course similar to like mealworms and superworms and whatnot that you feed your pet lizards. Stuff. You'll see more about that. I'm actually breeding them for some projects. But right now, these are all great because they're one-hand flips. But yeah, you see, because you can see very clearly, it's like dry here, kind of wet down here, when normally I want them all wet to be good logs. So, put you out there. Whew, let's keep going. But, ooh, this is nice. So you can see on this one though how much more wet it is. And you can also see a slime mold right here. All that. It's not really showing up great on camera. But this is because this log is placed vertically instead of horizontally. So any water that's coming here, you got to think this acts like a reservoir, and then it pushes the water straight down instead of kind of getting soaked up. Only one left is that log. But let's see what we can find. Ooh, the ice made this one tricky. No, not a dang thing. Nothing on the back side. Ooh, slug with a nice slime trail. You can see that glare on it. It's a tiny little one though. Look at it move. You can barely see it. Wow. Let's reseat this log properly. How we get there? Okay. Oh, sorry, I just realized the mic is down there. Okay. Set it back in. Look. Best we can. always reseed it best you can. Look at that. What's up, Jim? Okay. So, what do we got going on here? Where do I want to go? Any other logs? I think over there. Oh yeah, we got this like crazy windstorm coming in. Or going out, I guess. Yeah. There we go. I thought that would make that vertical. I think that looks bad. Orientation is locked, whatever. But look at that. So, expecting a lot of more down trees all over. Said we would have gusts up to like 50 or 60 miles an hour. So, pretty crazy. Ooh, yes. More logs. I really love it when they buck logs to this length. Purely for me, of course, right? For flipping and looking at stuff. I can't see it there. I'm blocking all the light, that's why. Wow. I don't want to flip this one. I don't know why. Something about it being like this. But I can't resist. Big one, look at that. I'm getting a lot of these. I actually don't normally see these when I'm flipping in this region, but I haven't flipped this park before. So, interesting. But we'll put you back. Okay, there we go. This one looks too hard to flip with all the ice, so we'll leave it. And also, I said I'd leave the other one. Don't you love it when you get a salamander on the first log flip, though? Okay. But yeah, I found out that everything I need to do, they opens up at 9 o'clock. I was like, well, shoot, I gotta kill like an hour. Figured, why not go out, look for stuff? Then I found all these really cool tracks everywhere. So, yeah. This is a cool spot. I haven't hit up here before. It's like a 240-acre biodiversity park next to the college. I just have other biodiversity close to me, so no need to come up here. Ooh, look at the moss. Look at the moss. Oh, sporophytes popping. Sporophytes go brrr. Look at that. So these are little things that the spores of the moss will shoot up, and then the wind, of course, will catch them. And whoo, they fly off to new areas where they can colonize and then create their own moss little family. And the circle of life continues. Logs? Yeah. Crazy. So, I've been out the past couple of weeks, in this weather actually, for a bunch of training and stuff. We didn't get to do as much as we wanted. We're going back out again next week. But I learned how to soul trees, got certified. Man, this wind is crazy. Look at this. Wow. A lot of these trees could just fall. Isn't that wild? Like, look at this dead one right here. Oh, and it's got beaver marks. Look at this. This one will fall to the left, so we'll stay on the right-hand side. Although the beaver was chewing down here. So yeah, look at this damage. Wow. Crazy. But yeah, this tree's dead. This should be taken down. Look at all the splits it's got. It's actually probably dangerous. Oop, heard something falling. Oh shit, is that tree? Hold up. I'm hearing cracking. You hear that? What's going on here? Let's look. Oh, road's right there. Huh. And also my car's right there. I told you, straight ahead. You left breadcrumb trail. No, I actually tracked myself with the sun. But we get lucky or unlucky. A tree may fall. So, shit. Okay, hold up. We're gonna back all the way up because it may be this one right here. but I'm hearing cracks. Whoa. Because also I'm like over there, so I kind of don't want to be. Okay, we're gonna back all the way up. Look at this, I just learned about safety with all this stuff. This is so fun. I should send this video to them. I'm applying my training off the clock. Wow. There's no good place to stand. This is crazy. Ugh. Yeah, so we got 13 inches last week. And then we had like 2 or 3 inches of just straight ice beforehand. Man, look at how some of these are moving. Oh. So all the trees are moving kind of this way. We're gonna move laterally this way. Just kind of watching how the wind is moving things, right? So we want to be sort of behind the plane of their movement. See, like this one. So a lot of trees aren't naturally bending, right? They're like built to bend. Because of high winds like this, because it'd be ridiculous if they fell over every time. So you can actually see like way up top, right? They're moving like crazy movement. But down below, they're relatively stable. So that's that built-in flex, and this is the same technology that we've put in buildings in high wind areas. So skyscrapers and apartment buildings can also move laterally like this, so they don't fall over in high winds. So some of that, I think that's biomimicry engineering. But of course, when things die, they lose a lot of flexibility, right? You know how old wood just kind of breaks apart. Ooh. Let's listen, because we're hearing creaks. It could just be trees rubbing up against one another, but this is a lot of movement. And so the main one I'm really watching is this one right here, this like long one, just because if it fell, it'd come right directly this way. But it's looking really good. And I'm pretty sure I can move a few feet back and still be safe. I'd love to see one falling on camera though, that'd be crazy to get. So, I'm also like 20 feet away from my car, so I kind of don't really care if I have to stay out longer. I just want to see if we get a tree fall. Hope it doesn't end up in the road. Let's see. Oh yeah, you can really see the lean on this one. Look at how much they're moving. Wind's dying down. But yeah, there's like a whole bunch of dead ones right here, a little patch of them. And then a few of them here, like, I'm looking at this one. So is that one cracked? What's going on there? Because it has like such a gnarly lean to it that kind of kinks out of nowhere, it looks like. Huh. Yeah, and also just trying not to stand underneath any limbs like that, of course. So. Let's see. But no, all these trees are fairly straight, so they should probably not fall. I'm just curious what that cracking was. Let's see. Ooh. Hear it behind. Ooh, that way. You hear that? Plus 16 Celsius. Oh my gosh. Temperature for us in C, I think it's about 1 or 2 C right now, if I'm remembering. We just had, because we had this really weird cold snap coming in. I think it dropped, I think like 6 or 7 C in a night. But then tomorrow it's going to jump back up again, another 12 or 15, I think, and then just kind of slowly dip down through the week. Ooh, yeah, look at that movement. It's really hard to see on here, actually, because it's much more dramatic in person. I think if I zoom in. So yeah, we're here in North Carolina, USA, in the Piedmont area, kind of central North Carolina, between the mountains and the sea. And I just went to a little city park. Found all these, well, a lot of these trees are just like really moving. And I hear cracking noises, so I thought maybe we'll see one fall. That'd be cool. So, just kind of trying to make sure I'm not in the path of any that would fall, but all the movement is going here, there. I know of Bangladesh, of course, but never been. I've barely been past the Prime Meridian, so I'm really just more of a North and Central American traveler for the most part. But I really want to go explore more. You know, just never in the pocketbooks. Oh, yeah. Let's see. And yeah, so we're having this, crazy windstorm kind of coming through. It was pushing my car around really bad when I was driving out. Let's see. So I'm betting it's this tree hitting. So you see that one? If I stop talking, it's because I hear cracking and I'm just trying to pay attention. Oh, you know what? Look at this tree right here. You see this one coming up with the kink right there? Look at how much it's moving this way. That's putting a lot of extra weight on that side. So if the wind pushes it hard that way, could come. Yeah, none of the other ones are looking, because most of the other ones are pretty straight. If they're straight, they're a lot less likely to tip over or break off. Less likely, of course. But it's really the dead ones you gotta watch out for. And ones with weird, I don't want to say weird, non-straight growth, like that. And yeah, and all of this is ice, so we don't really get much, we didn't get too much snow this week. It seemed like more just ice, but fortunately, let's see, I am getting quite cold. Let's go for another wind gust, because it'll pop back up again, and then I'll probably end it. So we'll go maybe another 10 minutes or so, maybe 5-10, because all the coffee shops are opening up soon. Wow. Let's see if we can get one. Here's another good wind gust. The other one is just this one right here, because it does have such a good, this one right here, because it has a solid lean to it already. It looks like one that will fall eventually, because, I mean, you can see like the one right next to it right here. Come on, focus on the right thing. This one right here is just straight up, but this one has that lean to it. So it'll probably be fine now, but eventually it could just cause it to fall over, especially if it dies. See, look at that. Let's see. Let's get another good wind gust. Wow. Okay, I hear the wind coming. Yeah, earlier there was some pretty loud cracks, so that's what we were really trying to pay attention to. There's some additional cracking going on that way, but for the most part it's up here. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, some of them have a lot more movement too. So generally ones that'll have leaves on them will have a lot of movement because the wind can capture it more, right? It's kind of like a sail almost, or like a bunch of mini sails. Yeah. Ooh, see, good movement again. Yeah, look at that one with that lean. See how much it kind of moves over? Right there. Yeah. And there's these two or three pines in the back over here. that have a lot of movement back and forth, back and forth. So I'm just gonna watch and listen for a second, because there is a lot of movement in these trees. Yeah, especially right there in that little stand. Look at that. Heard some cracking. But they're holding, so wouldn't be surprised if a few came down eventually, but we're actually at the sort of end of the wind storm. It's kind of something you have to worry about, is if they keep going back and forth. You know, it's like if you're doing it with a piece of little metal or whatever, and you go back and forth, eventually it breaks because all the strands just break bit by bit, back and forth. So, of course, they can withstand a wind pushing them over, they can withstand it moving them back and forth, but it's when it does it again and again, eventually it'll just snap the tree. So we did have this all last night, and of course in this area there's a lot of downed trees already. Older downed trees, but they do come down here. I just see like a lot of dead ones like that snap off and fall somewhere. So it's like this log right here, covered in the snow. But I am freezing cold. So I'm gonna go get some coffee. Thank you for joining me. This was fun. I'll do this more often. Yeah, toodles. How do I turn this off? X, yes.